Good afternoon. My name is Scott Rutledge, Chief Strategic Officer at T3Live.com. Welcome to today's recap and look ahead.
观众朋友们，大家好，欢迎收看今天的直击美股，我是王梦雨，在华尔街向您问好。今天是纽约时间6月15日，星期四。可以看到，标准普尔500指数和纳斯达克综合指数双双下跌。昨日，美联储决定了加息的决定之后，我们看到市场呢也表现出一个比较平和的状态。今日我们可以看到，美国的美元上升以及美国的国债率上升，这也导致了美国科技股票的下跌。例如 Facebook、Microsoft 和中国的互联网公司京东的股票呢，都在今日有一个下跌的迹象。现在有一个非常有意思的说法，那就是市场人士普遍分析现在的股市呢趋于一个越来越不确定性的因素。那么主要的因素呢是由于人们对于长期的投资呢保持一个有所怀疑的态度。以下呢我们有请 T3 首席执行官 Scott 为大家分析今日的股票运程。Why investor in the stock become not safer than before? What's the information you can tell for the investor?
Okay, well, we are 8 years away from the stock market bottom. If you remember the financial crisis of 2007, 2008, well, it's been almost a 9-year rally. So whenever you go for 9 years, it feels as if we're ready for some kind of corrective phase. People have been saying that actually since 2012, 2015, last year. So until that happens, people are trying to stay with the trend, but nobody wants to get caught with what could be a 10, 15, 20% correction, which has not happened yet. That is, again, why we use moving averages if you trade for alpha and P&L. If you trade below the 8 and 21-day moving average, it means maybe we could be in for a little bit of a corrective phase. Maybe. And if we stay below it, then potentially, then the bears have a little bit more power, and then we get below the 50 and the 200, and then perhaps a corrective phase for investors to stay away from. But we haven't seen that yet. But if you're an investor long term, it doesn't matter. Just put your monthly flows in every single month. If you're 20, 30, or 40, do it for the next 20 years, and you're going to make a hell of a lot of money over time because historically the bull market wins. But actively, again, let's use the moving averages. And for today, the futures were down 15 handles. The bears could have crushed the market. And what happened? We came off the lows. Levels held. You go to the chart of the S&P cash. What do we say to do? Okay, first of all, if you look at the chart here, okay, this was the low from the election. And if you want to draw a trend line, here is your trend line from there. We are above it. So this intermediate trend line is holding. If you want to look at some of the accelerated trend lines, it broke here, came back, went again, broke here, came back and went again. Now it's, I'm not saying broke here yet, but it's actually, you want to draw like that, it's getting a little close. So you take a closer look here, okay, at the level. This morning in my Morning Call Express, we talked about does or will or can the 21-day moving average hold in the S&P, which is right here. And at this particular point, we are holding. So if you want to be long actively, I would be long versus the 21-day moving average versus 2403 to 2413. As long as this hold and as long as this trend is there, it's going to be hard to even get a minor or even more of a correction down to the 50-day. But for right now, we're still holding strong. Not a lot of traction here. I would be a little bit more careful.
Dollar and government bond rose today, but the tech stock will fail. Like, what's the information you can share for us?
Well, the S&P is now acting better than tech, and you said tech is a little bit weaker. I don't particularly think it's because of the US dollar bounce. If you want to look at the UUP first, which is actually a barometer and an ETF for the dollar, you will see that the UUP has been in a downtrend since the start of 2017. So I wouldn't actually say that we're ready for it to bounce. Right now we're just getting a bit of an oversold bounce. So here is a spot that the US dollar or the UUP could bounce as we just got a reversal. So if the dollar continues to be strong, you would think that the small caps would get a little bit better, so would the banks. And sometimes it does put a little bit of pressure on tech because that's the correlation. So here is your spot in the UUP. As far as the Qs, let's take a look at that. Definitely a little bit different. Why is it a little bit different? Because every time we've broken these accelerated trends, we've held and then reclaimed moving averages and went. This is the first time that we broke here. Let's take a closer look. Broke the 8-day just like we did here. Still strong if you hold the 50-day. Yes, is momentum lost? Can you just sit in stocks and enjoy big gains when they're Below the 21-day, probably not. But as of now, the 50-day is still some support. So as of now, I would say you could be long the Qs versus this 137.50. And then if we do bounce up, we'll see, do we also get negated at these moving averages again to then turn lower and then maybe break that. But for now, today is a little bit of a reversal bar. Maybe we get a tiny bit of a bounce back into the moving averages tomorrow, but we're still below 50% of this bar, which puts the sellers in short-term active control.
Thank you for sharing the information, Scott.
Well, I'm glad you're here, and hopefully you keep coming in. We can connect these dots for you, so this way you can stay safe, you can know what the market composure is, and we can give you some actionable trades to make some cash flow so you can put together a week, a month, and maybe even a career.
以上就是今天的节目，感谢您的收看，我们下期再见。